I am live. We are live. Yes, sir. Okay, welcome to the 33rd Universe episodes. We about to kick it with my partners and my folks, so close the door. If you hungry for some knowledge, yeah, you got it. Here we go. For my leaders and my queens, we about to build on esoterics, though. Peace, family. We got a fun lecture tonight, man. I want to just have some fun. Can you hear me, love? You're my first viewer. Can you hear me? Are all sounds clear? Yeah. Actually, today is March the 6th, and we have the birthday girl in the building. Peace and blessings to her. She is... There we go. So first off, peace and blessings to the birthday girl. It's her birthday. Happy born day. Beautiful mind. LowSoloArt.com. She's cultivating some cool energies. She's putting together a lot of different things. She has a digital art. She has her resin paintings. And she's been giving out some lessons. So y'all check her out. Also, I've been... Peace Hood, I see you. I also been working on my website. I'm gonna start my shop real soon, so I'm excited to get some things going. I got a lot of fun ideas I want to just start putting out there. Today is a fun lecture, like I said, man. We're gonna talk about esoterics. What else? If you don't know, you know now. Anything I talk about, we love to dig into the deeper side of things. We like to figure out why is something involved, or why was something said about, you know what I'm saying? So the esoterics are usually the reasonings behind videos, TV shows, conversations. There's always something behind, a reason behind it. So I like to dig into those assets of life, and I like to learn what I can pick apart to put together and build on in this lifetime and add on into this world. So you see my Tar Heel shirt, man. Duke, y'all can't touch us. I'm usually wearing 33, but 23 is appropriate today. Go Heels. But let me get my notes together, man. I definitely appreciate anyone checking us out tonight. I'm out of town right now, so I'm outside enjoying some energy on this Sunday evening. But we'll get right into it. Why do we love the villain? Why is the villain interesting? Why is the villain a lot of times, focal point for a movie? A lot of times it's there. If it wasn't for the villain, you wouldn't have the said hero. There's always a protagonist, and there's always an antagonist in typical movies, especially action movies that got to do with superheroes. So a lot of these superhero movies, they have mythologies connected to them that involve and entail original stories from our ancient ancestors. You have ancient Kemet, you have ancient Mayans, you have indigenous beings on this side of America. All of these people had stories, and they had esoteric meaning behind their stories, and they told the stories to provide a timeline, or not necessarily a timeline, a understanding as to the the meaning, or the moral to the story. You know what I'm saying? They always teaching you moral aspect in this world, so that you can be a civil being, and that you can socially accommodate yourself amongst others. Because to be a savage amongst others is a little bit that's like the Squid Games. You're gonna be living like Squid Games. You know what I'm saying? So you don't want to be savage living. You want to have a social construct So they told these stories, and these stories always had underlying meanings. The protagonist, antagonist. It didn't really matter if they were good or bad. It always had an energetic space that you needed to understand. So when you have these modern day movies, they typically do the same things, because a lot of these movies are stolen directly from ancestor stories. They're stolen directly from ancestor stories. So you have, this ain't even on topic, but you have like religious stories. A lot of the religious stories are all similar. So you all have a Jesus quality involved in the religion, and then you have a way to construct that Jesus quality into a higher power. And they all have different mindsets, all have different perspectives, all have different spaces involved in that. But the common denominator is the original Jesus energy, Buddha or Yahweh, or you understand, whatever you want to call it. Excuse me. So when you get into these protagonists and antagonists, you have energies that transcend throughout lifetime. So we'll get into the villains in the Batman series, The Dark Knight. The Dark Knight is a trilogy with the Batman starting out as a boy, growing into an old man, and retiring his Batcape. So throughout the movie, there's a common theme with the antagonist or said villain of the movies. And it was interesting because my sister Formo, shout out Formo, she had put me on to Bane, and she told me some things about Bane, the villain in the third movie. I was like, wow, that's deep, that's interesting. Okay, because I had put information together on Joker, and they kind of put it together for us because they put together the prequel for us to see how the Joker became who he was. And those are interesting transitions to me because first of all, you don't just say anything or do anything. There's always a space to interact the things that you say with a meaning. You don't just say blah, 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 blah with no meaning behind it. You might say something to inspire someone. You might say something to compliment someone. You might say something to lead someone. But you have to have intent when you speak these things. So comes the Joker, and the villain is my favorite villain in pretty much any movie. He's a diabolical genius. A lot of times you notice that these villains, they have the mindset of a genius. So if y'all peep today, I'm wearing 2-3. 2-3 equals 5. 5 encompasses the Mercury aspect of life. Mercury aspect is the thinking quality. So although this is Tar Heels, I knew what I was doing with the energy, the 5 energy. So the villains, and I'm not talking about Jason who comes and kills you. Even though I take that back. I'm talking about Jason too. But I'm not talking about people like Michael Myers who just comes and kills you with the machete for no reason. A lot of times there's a reason why they're coming to kill you. Candyman, all of these things. They're coming to avenge their death. They have been wrongfully done in the physical, and then when they get to the spiritual, they come to a means with a vengeance force. But anyway, when you're looking at these villains, they have the mental capacity to think beyond today. You understand? So a lot of times you have, and I got a little list of villains. I got Joker, I got Bane, Killmonger, Cruella de Vil, I got Megatron, I got Darth Vader, and Cobra. So when you think about all these villains, they all thoughtful people. you're looking at the Joker. He's a very thoughtful, methodical person, but they have common themes with these villains. A lot of these villains, they seem to want to get back at the man, and the man could be anything, anybody that's oppressing them. And when we all know that anyone is liable to snap off if they get pushed in the corner. So understand that a lot of these movies that have villains in them, they only show a perspective to make them be the bad guy. But if you understand their story, they're just the antagonist, and they're the negative side of the story. Negative doesn't always mean bad. Negative just means they're the negative polarity of the situation. There's got to be two sides of the situation. They're just that negative side. So a lot of times they've been oppressed into a space where they're no longer able to express themselves. They're no longer able to think for themselves. They're no longer able to do for themselves. The only thing that they can do or are able to do is do things for the man. You understand? They have been maximized and they've been exerted of all their energy to put into their beast. And a lot of times we have a job that we hate. A lot of times we do things that we have to do that we hate. We go to jury duty. We hate doing that. We hate paying taxes. A lot of these things don't make sense. But it don't make sense to us because it's all to fuel their program, somebody else's program. So this is 2022. I encourage everyone to get their own program. Begin today if you haven't started. Start your own program and phase out of working other people's program, because you will find yourself becoming a villain on a job. If you hate your job, you're going to become the villain on the job. Trust me, I can tell you. I will stay on a job and I will feel the energy change inside of me, and then I become irritable. I become unable to reach. You understand? I turn into Joker on your ass. I'll be the magician on your ass. I'm going to be cunning. I'm going to be witty. I'm going to be smarter than your dumb ass. I'm going to be in and out. They can be like, where's Shad? I don't know. I'll be right back. As soon as you say where's Shad, I'm going to pop up on your ass. I do it every fucking time I hate work. So don't become the villain in your place of life. Make your own program. Start your own program. Me and my wife, we're creating our own program. It's exciting, it's scary, it's fun, all in one. But we're creating our own program. Hood Mystic, I seen Hood Mystic in here earlier. He created his own program. Y'all check him out, man. He's an amazing source of energy. He's definitely a soul family, the way I see it. So, man, I can't hold it like that, huh? I had to plug my phone up. That ain't gonna work. Let's see if we can do it like this. Alright, hold on, y'all. Let me plug my phone up, get this situation straight. My phone dying. Ambulance is out here. Bam, here we go. Yeah, you hear that? Alright, there we go. We got it straight. But we talking about the villain, y'all. And you don't want to become oppressed into that space, because you can die and become a hero because you have a short-lived fame. And, sometimes you go on. I use the job because I understand the oppression on jobs. But you might go on a job and become the hero the first few days because you go in there all energetic and happy you got the job. But then you start to notice the oppressive ways, and you start to understand the condescending nature of the people that you're working with. And it's like, oh no, hell no, fuck no. So if you peep how Joker's life was, you have the movie Dark Knight, cool. but they had the installment of the Joker, the actual movie about his upbringing and the way he was raised and the way he became who he was. It's actually a very sad story because it's relatable to in a lot of different ways. You have a lot of different aspects in the Joker spread out in society. All type of people endure things that Joker endured as a child. Oppressive parents. So the oppression started early for him. From the gate, he was oppressed, and he was taken into a place where he was not able to express and be himself. It tainted and debilitated his character as he grew, and the more he was socially oppressed based on his character that's already affected from his original upbringing. So the ball just snowballs and keep rolling. It's not necessarily the way a person should be raised. So when you in Gotham City represents what? Gotham City represents New York City, the rotten apple, the filthy state of mind that America has created. We all understand the opportunities and all that, but America has created some very, very strange business propositions, some very, very strange ways to live and to maintain life. So you just have to. Oh man, hold on, my charger's not working finally. Hold on, y'all. Oh no, my charger's no good, y'all. I'm gonna have to go get my charger if this don't. Anyway, we'll keep talking. We'll keep building. I might have to go grab my charger, but we'll go do that real quick. Damn, Daniel. Alright. So anyway, the oppressive nature that the Joker had to go through started from the very beginning of his life. And he was in a space where he was not able to do the things that he wanted to do. And then you see in the movie when the bullies attack him on the train, he snaps. He lets it go. He lets everything go. So, alright, we back. Man, we in the band though, trapping y'all, so sorry for the hang up. We're gonna get right back into it because we was talking about some esoterics on the villains. You know what I'm saying? The esoterics on the villains. Esoterics on the villains. We was talking about the oppression that is involved in these villains' lives. You know what I'm saying? The oppression that creates a monster. So like I was saying, we all know we be on a job or we'll be in a position, even at home, where we're being oppressed. We're being put into a place or into a space where we cannot express the things that we need to express. And then you have the dark energy that begins to manifest and to think and to figure out how to become not oppressed. And then the radical nature begins to take possession. So the common things with these villains, the radical nature begins to express itself in trying to liberate one. So like I was saying, the villains on The Dark Knight, you got some interesting villains. You got 5 or 6 of them, but throughout the movie, the theme is, not the scene. I got the cards from the Batman movie, but it says, there you go, boom. You can't really see it. See yourself become the villain. So you can die and be a hero, or you see yourself become the villain, because at some point you're going to have to do something radical to obtain liberation of self. At some point you're going to have to not shit on somebody, but take matters into your own hands, do your own thing, and that means not doing the thing that the man wants you to do. So Joker and the Bane character, they're both interesting in the Batman movie, because you have these facets that are attacking Gotham City. So Dark Knight is interesting because you have Batman. He's in jail when he starts you see that he is in a place where he is in a criminal aspect. He's a criminal too. So he happens to be a very, very, very knowledgeable criminal, and there are people watching him because they see him kick 10 people's ass in the prison. So the prison turns out to be Bane and Al Ghul's prison. Ra's al Ghul is the original leader of the little society. They had the assassins that were supposed to take over and liberate Gotham City. The League of, I forgot the name of them people, man. Yeah, I can't remember. But anyway, that league they put together so that they can liberate selves. When Batman or Bruce Wayne gets involved with them, he goes through the whole initiation. And then at the end of the initiation, he breaches the initiation because he feels like that is not the right way to go. He didn't understand the plan. So he ends up blowing their whole organization up and flees. He goes to Gotham City and becomes Batman. He starts to fight crime. So let's think about this. He's fighting crime, right? Now, the esoterics behind crime, we all understand the esoterics behind crime. Crime stems from the oppression of a nation. So if Batman goes out and fights crime, all he's doing is being a police officer. He's combating the symptoms, but he's not taking care of the problem, the core of the problem. So, in so many words, Batman was a police. We all loved Batman, but when you really understand what Batman represents, he's the cooperative that helps the police fight crime. We're not trying to fight crime. You know what I'm saying? We're trying to get to the core of what the hell crime is all about. What the hell is the core of crime? All these people don't have money. People don't have money, they begin to loot. They begin to rob. They begin to steal. They begin to get agitated and kill. You understand? They sell drugs. They do different things to manifest the money. So the manifestation of the money sometimes has to be on a lower quality of life because you're limited in the oppressive states of living. So you want to, what's up, Justin? Peace, son. Make sure you stay in and watch what's going on. We're talking about the villain, so you might like this. But so when Batman goes out to fight crime, he's only acting as a police officer. So when you think of the league that Ra's al Ghul and Bane were a part of, they were all about liberation, and they were all about freeing the Gotham City. Same as the Joker. Joker came in hot. He came in hot, burning shit down, blowing shit up. But his whole manifestation process was to burn Gotham City down. He don't want no money. He don't want none of that. He wants to burn it all down, burn it, and start new. Because he knows Gotham City is a oppressive city. And Gotham City represents the nation that we live in. These cities that we live in, these spaces that put you in a place where you only make a certain amount of money. You only can do this because you only make a certain amount of money. And if you think outside the box, you're the villain. You're not a part of our nation anymore. You're the bad guy now. You're ostracized and put off in the background. You understand? So you're dealing with Gotham City as the oppressive nature of America. So these villains that are trying to attack, quote unquote, Gotham City, they're ultimately looking to liberate themselves of the destruction of Gotham. And then you have Batman, who is trying to fight crime, and he's trying to help the police and aid them with their agenda. So I don't know if Batman knowingly does this, but the character Batman is the protagonist that is the one that helps Gotham City in this story. Bane is looking to break down all the walls of Gotham City and liberate the people. He has radical methods, radical space of knowing. So when you grew up in an oppressive nature, just like Bane and Joker, Bane was raised in the prison. He was born in the prison, in the dark, and then he comes to the light and he begins to understand the worldly ways of the people. And he begins to align himself with Ra's al Ghul, who has the plans to destruct the chaos into Gotham City. So boom, chaos. Chaos is the important factor of these villains. The chaos maintains the magic. It maintains the space where you can create, because within chaos there's so many different facets and so many things that you can pull from and create. So when you have chaos energy, which all us melanated beings do, you're a chaotic being. So a lot of times we're put off as people that got ADD, people that don't pay attention, people that can't sit down and read, you know what I'm saying? Because ultimately we're chaos beings. We don't learn like that. That's not our way of learning. So the Western way of learning has been put in place so that it can oppress your chaotic nature. What do they do in school? They sit you in school all day for 8 hours. Don't get up. You can't get up. If you want to get up, ask. And then you can go to the bathroom for 2 minutes. Come on back. Hurry up. Do this. Do that. Eat this. Eat that. Come back. You got 2 minutes. So they're priming you. They're priming you for a cooperative society. They don't want you to be chaotic, and they don't want you to stand in your godliness and to create your own euphoria or create your own destiny. So when you look at the villains in the Batman series, they're all looking to create their own destiny out of an oppressive state of mind, or out of an oppressive state of living. So these states of living create villains, and they go right at the necks of what they think the problem is. Sometimes it's so radical that it might be a little overbearing and wrong, but how can you blame them? Because you have put these people in a place where they have been so far oppressed and so far put back they explode. You understand? It's like a volcano. You keep the ground suppressed all that heat in the ground. I mean under the surface. So all that heat starts to salivate and pulsate, and then it begins to want to find a way out. Some way it blows its top, and everything explodes out. So it's similar in this manifestation. So these villains are only and purely looking to liberate themselves. So that takes me right into my main man. Boom. We got Killmonger. Killmonger is the epitome of these villains that I'm talking about. He's the one that America created, and he only wants to liberate his people. He finds radical ways of doing it, but we all know the Killmonger story. The Killmonger story is great. Black Panther is great. If you notice, Black Panther was the house nigga, the kid that stayed on the stoop forever. He didn't really get out there and learn life. He went out there and did village living and kingdom living. Whereas Killmonger, his father died as a young man. He's seen a lot of trial and tribulation. With trials and tribulation, you build spirit. You build a personification of a person that has been through things and knows how to maneuver going forward, because they've been through it in so many different trials before. So you look at the Killmonger story. America send him through foster care, send him to the military, train him to be a killer, train him to do all these different things. And Killmonger figured out in his mind, he said, you know what? The family that killed my father, I'm going to kill them. And I'm going to take the kingdom over. I'm going to take my rights over in my own hands, and I'm going to liberate our people once I take that kingdom over. He didn't say, yeah, I'm going to get in here and I'm going to have juice and gin with the ladies. You know what I'm saying? He didn't do that. He went straight to war. He said, we're going out here to get our people liberated, because he knows the situation that children his color or his lineage are going through. So the Killmonger aspect is so interesting, because he is fighting Black Panther, but Black Panther is the protagonist that has the quote-unquote white man in his house and helping them out versus liberating the people. Black Panther kept his safe little space. He kept his little kingdom in operatives and in order. But ultimately, they were supposed to be joining together. Killmonger and Black Panther should have put both minds together. His radicalness and his safeness should have became a team, and they go out there and liberate their people together. That's what the movie Black Panther should have been about. But we know Hollywood's not going to show us anything other than us killing each other. So we understand that part. But yeah, Killmonger is the same as everyone else. He could have died a young man as a hero in the army. You know what I'm saying? But he didn't want to do that. He said, you know what, I'm going to liberate my people. I'm going to get into a place where I can get out of oppression. I don't got to fight this people's battle. I can be in a place where I can maintain peace, cuz. You see us? You see us? Yeah. But he wanted to get into a place where he wanted to maintain that space where he could take his own lineage into his own hands. What's up with it? But he didn't want to be fighting nobody's battle, so he lived even further to go and be the villain in the Black Panther story. But the villain ends up always having the chaotic mindset to stir up some shit. And they want to stir the shit up so that they can get something new going. Kind of like Kanye West. Like, a lot of people look at him as the villain, but he wants to stir this shit up. because you can't keep doing the same thing over. Kanye said, like, how many times we gonna keep reinventing the Air Force Ones? Like, how many times you gonna keep making us wear the same retro Jordans? Like, we need to reinvent. We need to come out of this box. Oppression. That's an example of oppression. Pieces. That's an example of oppression, and you have to give yourself an exit. Get out of that box. So you sometimes have to be the villain in somebody's story. That don't mean you're the bad guy. That just means in that perspective, you're the bad guy. So let's look at another story. You got my main man, Cobra. You got not Black Panther. I'm off Black Panther. You got Planet of the Apes. Planet of the Apes is one of my family's favorite movies. We love Planet of the Apes. But the coolest nigga in the movie, to me, was Cobra. Period. I don't give a fuck. Cobra was that nigga because Cobra understood what was going on. See, Caesar understood from his perspective. And his perspective was like, these people are nice. These people are feasibly able to teach us and keep us, because that's what he was raised under. But Cobra, he seen the savage side of these people that had him oppressed. He was in the laboratory getting worked on, and imagine getting worked on, it makes you crazy. It turns you out. So they put Cobra in a state of a mindset of oppression that did not allow him to function in his natural ape capacity. So that natural ape capacity began to radically change his mindset up. So when they seen that those people were back in the city, in his territory, instantly he was saying, let's go to war and kill them. Caesar was like, nah, let's let them live. They're good people. We can talk to them. They only want power. Cobra knew better. So what Cobra do? Cobra went and investigated himself. He said, I'm going to find this. I'm going to find out for myself what's going on. So he found out they got guns. They ready for war. They ready to take the whole energy plan over and get this world back and running, and the apes will be no longer. Cobra said, no, that's not going to happen. So he had to get radical. First, he bucked on Caesar, and they fought. After he seen that Caesar wasn't going to pay that situation any mind, he had to get even more radical. He said, you know what? I got to get Caesar out of the way. I'm gonna assassinate Caesar. I'm going to get Caesar out of the way so I can liberate our people. As radical as it was, his mindset was smart. It was tainted, but the debilitation of the taint comes from being oppressed in the first fucking place. So, okay, cool. He did try to kill Caesar, and then he did try to get all the apes killed in the war. But his whole mindset was, we going to war to kill these people before they kill us, because they're coming to kill us. I know it. They've done it before. They're going to do it again. So he ended up being the antagonist in the movie, and they ended up killing Cobra. I can't even remember how they killed my man, but they ended up killing Cobra. But he was the example of the die and be a hero, or live to be the villain, because he was the hero. He was the hitman for Caesar. In the beginning of part 2, in the end of part 1, he killed the damn lab guy, and then at the beginning of part 2, he was ready to go as soon as Caesar said. So he was the hero in so many mindsets, because he was taking care of business. But when he started to get oppressed and started to realize that oppression had returned, he turned up. The ante got turned up. So you see a manifestation of becoming a villain once again. So we can go down this all day. I just wanted to touch bases on each one of these characters because they're all interesting in their own right, and we look at them as the evil ones or the bad ones, but they're not. They're not really so bad. So Maleficent is one of the cool characters in Disney. I really like Maleficent. The first one. The second one got a little weird, but the first one explains how she grew up as a special child with the fairies, and she came across a human, and the human was fun and cool. They gained a connection and they built trust, and then um, he ended up losing her trust and getting her wings cut. He ended up pointing out where she was, got her wings cut, her magic, and took that back to their palace. So when she found that out, she went to the palace, charged up. She put a spell on the man that did it, on her kids and everyone, and it created her to be the villain of that nation. So now she's outcasted, and she's not able to manifest harmony within each other's worlds like she did when she was a child, because they realized that she was magical, and they realized that they needed to get her out of the way before magic. She puts the magic on them, and takes over. So the whole antagonist, the whole movie was about the antagonist being the one that was betrayed, and then taking things into their own hands and becoming liberated through their own actions. You know what I'm saying? The liberation through their own actions. Now, these two characters, I got two more characters, but they're a little different. They're not quite oppressed. This story was the story Star Wars, and you got Darth Vader, you got Luke Skywalker, you got Yoda, R2-D2, Chewbacca. You got the whole nine. You know all those people. But the dark side was fighting against the light, and if anyone understands the dark side represents the chaos magic that we possess as the melanin. We naturally have melanin in our bodies, and the activation comes from the light. So us represented as the dark energy in the Star Wars movie, they are fighting for planets. They're fighting for planets, and the dark side is way stronger than the light. And you notice that Darth Vader is Luke Skywalker's son. Luke Skywalker is the chosen one. So that instantly tells you that Darth Vader is on the original side of things. He's on the dark side. He is trying to protect these galaxies and keep them maintained in their orientation. So somehow Luke Skywalker ends up getting lost, and they find out that he's the chosen one, the light side, and they take him and train him and use his powers to fight the dark side. So in the beginning, the first time that they fight, Darth Vader and Luke Skywalker, Darth Vader's like, yo, we shouldn't be fighting. Like, I am your father. Like, come over here. I'm going to show you the way. I'm going to teach you the right way of being, a right way of thinking, and we'll fight together. Luke Skywalker didn't want to do that. He wanted to keep his power with the people that were enemies, pretty much. They were enemies. So the enemy were using Luke Skywalker to avenge and take over the galaxy. So that's a perfect story of how we love the villain. Not quite being a hero, but how we love the villains, because the villain is the original essence. And then I have my last one. This was cool. Can't really see him, huh? But that's the Megatron. That's the Decepticons. So if you pay attention in the Transformer movie, you see the Decepticons, and you see the Autobots. I mean, ain't they the Autobots? Yeah, the Autobots fighting. And you have what is his name? Bumblebee and all them people. they're on one side, and then you have the Decepticons on the other side. So the Decepticons are the same as pretty much Darth Vader. They're on the original essence of the darkness. They're the smarter beings. They had more of the technology. If you notice in the movie, the Decepticons had the more stable technology. They had all of the little tools and gadgets and the da-da-da-da-da. And the good guys, what's his name? Optimus Prime, they all went and fought with the army, representing them fighting for the government, pretty much, and being a warrior for the government, not fighting your own fight. So same as Darth Vader's story, you had these two forces fighting for a galaxies, and you showed the Decepticons to be the bad guys, but originally they are our people. The Decepticons are our people, and Optimus Prime is the red, white, and blue for the American nations and the government. So, all in all, same deal. We love the villain. I didn't too much like Optimus Prime. I like these dudes because they was just edgy and cooler. But all of that is to say, the villain can be ignited. The villain can be ignited in any situation, and you have to appropriate that villain to be your magic. You want to use that as your magic, and you use that magic to captivate your liberation. Sometimes it's radical in the eyes of others, but sometimes it's necessary, like Bane said. Bane said this is necessary evil. And that's a resonation of what you should be doing sometimes in your life. You should be putting up evil, because evil is not always bad. Evil just means a darker way of doing things, or a darker space, so that you can. And if you think about evil, what's backwards? Live. So etymology, if anybody understands etymology, that means they're both the same thing. Evil and live. Anyway. Peace and blessings, anyone watching, y'all, man. I loved this lecture. This was real cool. Short and sweet. We'll do it again Sunday, 3:33. Y'all tap in with me, man. 33rd universe. We here for the duration. So y'all check out losoloart.com, moredreams.com. I'm getting my shop going. We're getting our shop rolling. We're going to be selling some merchandise. We're going to be putting together some things that can help our family, and putting together some information that can be a space for knowledge and growth. Oh yeah, always. Peace, always. Thanks for watching, sis. But y'all stay tuned. Become the villain in the right aspect. Become the villain in the right aspect. Don't oppress yourself. Don't fight no one else's fight. Fight your own fight. It should always be you against yourself. You should never be competing against no one anyway. But in the metaphysical senses, fight your own fight. Peace and blessings. 33rd universe. We out.